Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Silverquicken, a secret school that's not like regular school, where technology is like magic and where kids become superheroes. I'm Chris, co-founder of Silverquicken, and a few days ago, I had the opportunity to meet with two amazing brothers, Ari and Maceo, to solve some really cool puzzles together. This was a solver session for the Silverquicken Quest Club, which sends you a packet full of puzzles wrapped in a quest every month. Think adventure story, think escape room. And it's so much fun, you don't even realize you're stretching your mind as you solve these puzzles, and you become more and more of a solver. You're strengthening your brain up. So if you like what you see and you'd like to become a member of the Silverquicken Quest Club, go to silverquicken.com and you can sign up for the Quest Club or one of our other products. Now let's go meet Ari and Maceo. You're going to love these guys. And let's go solve some puzzles together. So I have some brand new puzzles for you. I have a brand new opening puzzle, and I also have a closing puzzle at the end of this session. So this isn't in your packet. This is for today. Here it is.
Okay.
And what I just want you to do is, like, talk aloud, notice things, say what you see, try some things out. We'll figure it out. I'm going to put on a pen here so I can just write as we go. And you should also feel free to annotate. Yep, go ahead.
Okay. One thing I did notice is, see, I can annotate.
Yeah, you can annotate. Please do.
One thing I noticed right here, not sure if that's anything, but it says go. It's upside down, but it says go, so I'm not sure if it's anything.
I noticed that at the top it says we, but I'm not sure yet how to draw on it because I'm on a computer.
Oh, no worries. No worries. I'll draw for you, if that's cool.
Okay.
So that's we, but that E is backwards or flipped or something.
Yes, and then the go is upside down. Or at least the G is upside down.
Yeah, keep going with observations here with what you know.
Everything on the right side is upside down.
That's interesting.
On the left side is right side up.
So I'll do that as kind of like arrows. Left side's right side up. Right side's upside down. If I can, I trip over those words. Yeah, that's an interesting pattern. Does that get broken ever? Like when you look at it, is there any place where that breaks?
Let me see. Miss, can you? I don't think so.
I don't see it. I don't see so either. There's some letters like O. And
yeah, that you can't really tell.
Pretty much the same either way, but that doesn't invalidate the pattern. So we got a really strong pattern there where everything on the left, right side up, everything on the right, upside down. Yes. So that's probably going to mean something. I'm going to erase a couple things. So that kind of leads you to, like, well, the left side, does that say something? Does the right side say something? I mean, like, it kind of groups up. Like, think of, like, you see stuff and then you kind of wonder, oh, maybe that means something.
Let's see.
So we got yeah, go ahead and say.
Maybe some of the letters are put together in certain ways, like how we and go were put together. You could get or how you could do, like, it could start off as we, then we go, or so then it can start making more words.
So if we flip the letters on the right side, and then if we sort of flip the whole word down here, we get go. Does that work with other ones?
Not that I can see.
Yeah, maybe if you do at something, but you wouldn't flip the whole thing around, right? Like, you kind of have to flip the whole thing to get go.
Oh. Oh yeah, I just saw the at.
Yeah. And then O, like in the middle, like is kind of a word, but it's not working everywhere. We want patterns that kind of work across the thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
let's see.
So these are all great observations and great like tests. Like this is science. Like you're basically trying to figure it out, right? So there's probably something else we got to do. Yeah, you kind of run into a problem with that second one, right? Like AE or EA isn't a word, right? Or isn't like,
And then the problem with, like, you can't really make a word. You can't really make, like, real words that people use, like, every day with just 2 vowels.
Yeah. AE, like you could, like some, that doesn't even show up that often in English words, like aerial or a couple of words, an old version of aeroplane, but like, you know, and then things like DV, if you don't have any vowels, then that's a problem, right?
Yes.
So, but there's something about, we got to turn some letters right side up. And right now, turning them in place doesn't seem to work. Like flipping that E over. Someone I was working with on this puzzle tried to read down and then back up. Like WAEL. He's like, well, do and like that doesn't really work. Like you pretty quickly figure out, you know, and then he's like looking at it like this and everything, and you know. So, but let's try separating those. So WA, I'll just write a few of these on the left. And then we've got this stuff on the right. And what we tried to do was sort of flip them over one by one, and that didn't really work. Is there any other thing you could try to get them right side up?
Oh, we could, let me write on this. We could, you mean just flip them over individually?
Like that's what we've been trying, is flipping them over individually, and we haven't really gotten anywhere.
Maybe instead of flipping it over individually, we can just take the whole thing and just flip it around.
Oh, interesting. So what would that give you?
It would give you with the W, E, R, G, A, T. We are glad.
What? Wait, what?
We are.
That's the word R, not the letter R by itself, but R.
Glad.
Glad. Keep going.
To.
And that's the H there in the middle.
Have.
Okay, now the
Have.
You.
Because that V flips upside down.
Yes. Here.
You got it. To have. I can't fit it all down there. You. To have. You. Here. That's it. That's it. You guys figured this out.
That was pretty cool how it works.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Nice work, y'all. That was, this is not an easy puzzle. I gave this to one of my college roommates who's like a computer science guy, I had to coach him a lot more than you guys. Just to say, I think sometimes when you get old like us and my old college roommate, you get a little bacon grease in the head. That's exactly it. So let me go ahead and advance to the next slide. You've seen this. We're glad to have you here. So that's the opening puzzle. We will come back and we'll do a closing puzzle after this. But what we're also going to do is the final chase. And we've got 4 puzzles of this one. So I'm going to leave it to you all to read the story and sort of follow along. Maybe what we can do is take a look at the classified file and then puzzle number 1. on the troubleshooter, and then switch over to the final chase and take a look at puzzle number 1 there. How's that sound? Cool. So the classified file on the troubleshooter, if I can wake it up, is just some extra documents that we seem to need. A periodic table of the elements. Have you guys ever seen this before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in my science class, I've definitely seen it.
Cool. That's awesome.
Oh.
I used to be a science teacher. In fact, I used to teach chemistry and physics, and this is at the core of chemistry. So there's that periodic table of the elements. There's also this poem on the right side. And then there's this diagram with 3 doors on it and some words and some kind of funny looking language. And then there's this thing here. So those are just some extra documents you might need. And in puzzle number 1, the troubleshooter, which is kind of this wand thing that the folks in Silverquicken need for this quest. Gone to my secret office. Very important I not be disturbed, but if this is really an emergency, solve the puzzle to get halfway there. And then there's Z, one of the mentors here, that's Xenon. Then we have this thing. What does that make you think of here?
Okay. Sort of makes me think of a locker combination.
Like a locker combination? That would really be terrible as a locker combination, right? You got to turn it this way. Okay, so 139, 84. You've got to lock that big. Okay, go to 90. You'd forget it, right?
Definitely.
Yes, it would be. How many numbers are usually in a? I mean, I used to. I haven't operated one of those locks in a while.
I'm pretty sure it's like 3 or 4.
3 or 4, and it usually goes to like 40 or something.
Yeah, it's like maybe 40, 30. Yeah, like 50 of mine went to.
Yours went to 50. So no one's getting into your locker with 3 numbers. No one's getting into this locker with 9 or however many numbers it is. I guess 7 in the first one, 8.
Nah. 8?
Yeah. Is that or 9?
9.
Got that wrong. Yeah. So what do you notice? What do you see? What do you notice? Always a great place to start with puzzles. Always do that.
I see that there are a lot of minus signs, so it might be something with math in it.
Might be something with math in it. Mm-hmm. And you'd be subtracting and subtracting and doing some more subtracting all the way through. And you'd probably get a decently sized negative number in each case, right? Because
yes.
1 minus 39 takes you below 0. And then you just keep going down, right? And then you'd have some number. And it's like, okay, what's that number mean? I like the way you're thinking because those minus signs, because those dashes or hyphens or minus signs, you don't know what they are at the outset. It could be any of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you know what that symbol is called in the middle?
Is it an and sign?
It's an and sign.
I think I have an idea. So for in the classified file, it had these papers in it, and one of them was the periodic table, and on top it says it's for puzzle 1. So I started thinking. I saw that all the elements had a number on it. So I was thinking maybe the numbers are actually the elements, and since every element has like a letter or 2 letters, maybe if you put all the letters together, it would make sense.
All right. Let's try that. Let's try that hypothesis out. Let's give that a try. So, Ari, why don't you work on the top one? Maceo, you and I will work on the bottom one. Ari, since you can annotate, go ahead and annotate right on there. And Maceo, you tell me what to write for the bottom one.
Okay, for 8, it would be, let's see. It would be O.
You know what element that is, by the way?
That is oxygen.
You got it. Yeah, you know you're out. Nice.
Then for 5, it would be B.
Which is
Oh,
boron.
really?
It's boron, actually.
Boron.
It's just not a very common element, actually. Even for being number 5, like pretty low, it's not that common. C right next to it is super common. All 3 of us are walking around with a whole lot of it in our bodies. It's our buddy card.
Then 16 is S.
Which is sulfur.
84.
Then for 68 is, where's 68?
There's this little jump down there. It's called the lanthanide series down there after La.
Is ER.
ER. And that is from a little town in Sweden called Ytterby. And they found a whole bunch of elements in a mine outside that town on this island. And one of them was the Y up here because it's actually spelled YTTERBY. And the one you just named, Maceo, is erbium. They called it erbium for this part. There's another one called terbium. Then there's yttrium. And then there's ytterbium. You found so many different elements. They're like, okay, we got to use this town's name in like all these different ways. So there you go, erbium. I have no idea what you use it for. It just is. It's just there.
I just need one of my plugs came out. I need to plug that in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 99 that you just found, Ari, is Einsteinium.
I'm going to take a guess and say that this is hypothesis.
That's a really good hypothesis.
And Maceo, the one that you and Maceo are working on is observation.
Oh, cool. Awesome. So you're going to take a guess at this. You're going to take a hypothesis at this second one that is going to be observation. And you're right. That's vanadium. And then we got astatine is AT. And then iodine, back to oxygen and nitrogen. So what's really interesting to think about is, could you spell any word you wanted with the elements?
I'd say yes, because let me see.
Can you spell your name?
Definitely.
Let's see.
Actually, let me see, is there any?
I actually don't think I can spell my name.
Yeah, there aren't that many M's. There's Mg, magnesium, Mn, manganese, molybdenum.
I could spell my name.
You can spell argon and iodine, and you've got Ari. Yeah, but Maceo, I'm sorry. And Chris doesn't work either with an H. So it would be an interesting thing to figure out, like, what words you could, what words you couldn't. But hypothesis and observation is parts of the scientific method. Well done. And by the way, on this one, there is, Maceo, if you look at your, or actually, Ari, you've got this one. You're looking at the troubleshooter, right? And you opened up this one. Did you see that there's this puzzle extension inside this?
Puzzle extension. Is that a packet?
So the puzzle packet number 1 has this puzzle inside it. It's got also the little bit of the story attached to this. It's got some hints, and it's got, So the puzzle extensions, when you look at those after you've solved the puzzle, because actually what it has is usually something else about whatever it is we studied in the puzzle. Like, it's either like, hey, you could apply this cipher to another problem, or it's here's the math behind the thing, or here's like, there's more on the periodic table in that. All right. Let's take a look. Oh, there's yeah.
Here's the puzzle.
Yeah, do you want to show the screen? Show the.
Show.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Off the blur.
Oh, no worries. No worries. There's just a little bit more about, in this case, and it's not there for every puzzle. Yeah, puzzle 1 extension. So for a couple of puzzles each time, there's a little bit more that you can learn. And I like that Hamilton. It's like Hamilton, but who is that actually on your when it switches over to your picture, and that, like, when you turn off your camera?
Oh, it's from this book, The Backstagers.
Ah, cool. I'm like, that looks to me like Hamilton. I haven't seen Hamilton, but I very much would like to. All right, let me clear the drawings, and let's go back to the different puzzles. And so what you should do is read the beginning part of the story, which is actually outside all the packets, and then go through the packets 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it'll bring you through the story. Okay, you guys ready for this puzzle of the final chase? Again, you can
Yes.
look at it, but all right, there we go. So this involves turning on a submarine, and you've got to figure out the positions to put the levers on the left and the dials on the right in. They're separate puzzles, and in fact, the puzzle on the right we're going to save. You can do it on your own. There are 2 solutions to that one. So there are 2 possible settings for the dials A, B, C, D, and E as a group, but there's only 1 setting on the left. So take a look, read that through, and then let's talk. Tell me things you notice, things you start to wonder, start to like infer, start to think.
So once I read it on the left side, it's like, it means you have to find one, then it'll help you find the rest of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, as you take a look at the clues on the left there, start to narrow down possibilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's process it, step by step, and start to draw some conclusions, make some inferences and stuff like that.
So on it says levers 2 and 3. It says they both don't have consecutive letters of the alphabet.
So what would that be?
Consecutive means like one after the other.
Right.
So like if they were, say 1 and 4 had consecutive letters, it would be like, it would have A, 1 would have A, and then 4 would have B. Mm-hmm. Or 1 would have C, and 4 would have D.
Would it have to be that 4 was later in the alphabet? Like, could it work where 1 was C and 4 was B?
I'm not sure. What do you think, Maceo?
I think yes, because it doesn't exactly say, well...
Does it tell you which order?
No. So I think yes, right. Because it doesn't exactly say that it has to be in the right order.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that the higher numbered lever has the later numbered letter, unless they told you that, right? If they said that, then you'd have to take that into account, but they don't say that, so be ready for it to be the other way, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to think about, like, what is this exactly telling you? What is it not telling you?
Then I also noticed that on the left side with the levers, it has numbers on the bottom, and then on the right side, it has letters on the bottom. So when we figure them out, like if, for example, if lever number 1 was A, then you move the dial on number A to maybe 1, or...
That is a brilliant idea. Yeah. And you know what? We didn't. I'm going to go ahead and say, that's really cool. We'll use that. I'd want to use that in a future puzzle. That is not how this puzzle works, as it turns out. But that's a great idea, where it's actually kind of like two separate puzzles. But I love how you connected that, where it's like the levers are numbered and you're picking letters. So why wouldn't that? I'm like, I don't know why I never thought of that. I've looked at this puzzle for ages, man, and I never thought of that before. I'm like, that's brilliant. Love it. We'll use it somehow.
Let's see. I have an idea for where it says lever 3 has an earlier letter than of the alphabet than lever 2.
Okay.
We could use the process of elimination and say if lever 3 has an earlier number than lever 2, doesn't that mean 2 couldn't have A?
2 couldn't have A. It's great. I love what you're doing, Ari, which is like, don't just think what it tells you, think what it tells you can't be true, right? Not just what could be true, but what can't be. And the earlier later thing actually means that, well, lever 2 couldn't be the first letter of the alphabet because lever 3 has to be before that. Can you tell me something about lever 3 then as well?
Doesn't that mean it can't have D?
Yes, because what would 2 have to be? 2 would have to be E or F or something like that, right? For lever 3 to be D. So I love this. You can knock out those. Now, can you do something like that with the the fifth clue there, the next one?
Fifth clue. With number 4, it is a later letter than number 1. So that means that 4 would be like D, and
could be D.
And
it could be C. It could be B.
1 would have to go after it.
Yeah.
I mean, for it.
1 would have to go before it. So what letter can you rule out for number 4 then, Maceo?
Definitely, you could rule out A.
Yep, that's right. And then the same kind of logic for lever 1.
You'd have to rule out D.
That's right.
So I was also trying to figure out 2 and 3 because it gave us 2 hints about it. Yep. So I'm going to write it out like this. I don't know if you can see it or not. And then I was going to rule out which ones it can't be, like how 2 cannot be A, and how 3 cannot be D.
Yep.
And since since 2 and 3 are not consecutive letters in the alphabet, that means it might be like A and C. Or, right. A or C, or maybe like that.
Yeah, that we're now getting down to a smaller number of possibilities, right? Because we know that
they can't have the same letter.
Can't have the same letter, and they can't be consecutive. In fact, what I point you towards, can you give me something about 1 and 4? I'm going to direct you away from 2 and 3, where it says they aren't consecutive. Can you come up with some possibilities for lever 1 and lever 4? Given that we know levers 1 and 4 are consecutive, and lever 4 is later than lever 1.
Level 4 is later than level 1. Okay, so then that could be, since 4 is a later letter, then...
I've been doing that all day, man, as I was like running through it, like lever and letter, like what did we do? we made this like hard to process. Sorry.
So yeah, lever 4 is later, so that means 4 could not be A.
Yeah. What if it were B? What would lever 1 be?
Then if it was B, it would have lever 1 would be C.
The way around, right?
Oh, other way around. Then not C.
A.
A.
A. Because they're consecutive, but lever 4 is later.
Mhm.
So this is one possibility. We don't know what 2 and 3 are yet.
Mhm.
Can you lay out what the other possibilities are?
Another possibility could be if they are consecutive, then 4 could be. It could
So we've
be
done that one.
D, maybe.
B.
D, and then 1 could be C,
Yeah.
or
I'm going to put that possibility down there. Then there's one more possibility in between them.
B to C.
Yeah.
So really, actually, I'm going to erase those lines in the middle. Those are the 3 possibilities. That's it.
Mhm.
We're now down to 3. Like, we've nailed it down for 1 and 4. Now we just have to look at 2 and 3 and see if we can make it work.
Just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't it not be B and C? Wait. I just lost my train of thought, sorry.
Mm-hmm. No worries.
I was just thinking because since if those are our options and 2 and 3 can't have A and D, doesn't that mean we'd have to choose one with either for 1 and 4 doesn't it have to be with either A in it or D in it?
Let's work it out. Let's see. Let's try to make the first possibility work. What letters are you left with to put in 2 and 3 there, Ari? If you're saying 1 is A, 4 is B, what letters do you have?
1 is A and 4 is B are left with
C and D.
C and D. Can you put those in 2 and 3?
No.
No.
By exactly that reasoning that you said. With C and D, whichever order you put them in, ruled out by the non-consecutive thing.
So does that mean that 3 can be A and 2 is D, then 4 could be C, then 1 could be B?
Yeah. Does that meet all the criteria?
Yes.
Now, just to be on the safe side, you know what? I'm going to admit something to you. We made a mistake with this puzzle. Not this side of the puzzle, the other side of the puzzle. I was going through it after the fact and I realized there are 2 different solutions on the right side. So that's why on each one of these, we put in handwritten. There are 2 solutions and we put them. So you can figure out either one, but like we want to make sure there's not a second solution on the left. Can you rule out the CD solution? That last one was there.
Let's see. CD.
What would you have to use for your middle levers, 2 and 3?
You'd have to use
A.
You'd have to use A. You'd have to use B. And whichever order you put them in,
doesn't work.
Doesn't work because they're consecutive. So what's really cool is out of these constraints, it's not totally obvious from the start. Of course, it's not obvious, but you can work it out that there's exactly one solution. There's not more than one, and it's not impossible to do either. So you can get all the way to B, D, A, and C, and that fits. And so you set the levers. Now it'd be easier if they just told you, set the levers this way. But you know what? These are puzzles. They want to make sure that the only people who drive the submarine are the people like you all who can solve these puzzles. So that's how it works. So I'm going to leave you to do the right-hand one yourselves. And the rest of these puzzles, what I want to do is go back and now do our final puzzle. You know about Silverquicken and all the things we do. Here's your closing puzzle. See if you can figure this one out.
Okay. So this one.
Now remember what the opening puzzle said?
Opening puzzle said, "We are glad to have you here."
So it was like an opening message. This is going to have a closing message in it. Just to go ahead and lay that out there.
I see. Just one thing I see is T. A. K. Then any of these E's, which would be take.
And that would be take. So if you had these letters like, so if you start from the T and you go around to the A and then around to the K,
you would be skipping like every, like you would be skipping like every other row. So it could be T, skip that one, A, skip that one, K, skip that one, E. And then this one would be C, skip that one.
that would give you.
Oh, sorry, it's like blocking my view. Like, no, where's the A? It's down here. Take care.
Nice. Another way to look at that is if you rotated those circles, kind of like your combination lock, to put them in place, then you'd have take. And following the same pattern, you'd get care over here, which I'm going to write badly because I can't write sideways. So hot, but there we go.
Take care. And following it, T, I, T, I, L, L, take care till
Next
time. Next.
That is the fastest solve I've ever gotten on this puzzle. No question. The brother Worsley crushed it. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to bring up that was I'm gonna have to bring an A+ game next time because that was some strong work. Yeah, you rotate these things around and take care till next time. Nicely done. I can't stop you guys. This was super fun. Let's do this again. Let's find a time, and I hope this was good. Yeah, work on both the troubleshooter and work on the troubleshooter together. Maybe like to get on the that first one because that's the May quest, and then that flows into the June quest, which is the next one. Just from a story perspective, but it doesn't really matter. You can jump in and out of them. It's like some people that we talk to are like, "Hey, yeah, it's nice you have a story. I'm here for the puzzles. Just give me good puzzles." You do want to read the story though, because sometimes in the story there's embedded a little something. Like actually, they talk about the periodic table in the story, so that could be a prompt. Like that kind of little hint can sometimes show up. Otherwise, thanks so much. So, anybody got any good jokes?
Hey, I have one joke.
Yeah. What do you got?
Did the person who invented the phrase "one-hit wonder" invent any other popular phrases?
Nice. That was a one-hit wonder inventor. Yeah. One inventor. I can't say it, but yeah, that's good. I like that.
Once your kid stops laughing at "Why didn't Han Solo enjoy his dinner?" It was chewy. Oh, why didn't Han Solo enjoy his steak dinner? It was Chewy.
That makes me really sad. What did the 0 say to the 8? Nice belt.
Nice what?
Nice belt.
I kind of get it.
It's just, like imagine taking a 0 and putting a belt around the middle and sort of squishing it in. And you get
8.
That is like such a dad joke. So bad, so horrible. You don't have to. We could forget that happened. How about that? Let's just forget that happened. I'm going to try to not think about Chewy on a plate